Well, welcome to the June solo podcast, the Imperfect Heart-Centered podcast. And I just spent the morning thinking, what do I want to talk about? There's so much going on. I think if I had to give a word to the last month and looking forward to the month of June, it's the word flourish. I continue to set visionary, big, scary goals. And I find that's when I do my best work, is when I put myself in the forefront of challenge and lock myself away and have my own mastermind and think tank and mind dumping and all the things. And I had a really great full circle moment last week when I returned to my high school. I had been working with the grade 12 students in the leadership class. The teacher was so gracious. He let me teach the leadership class, and I brought my book and I did a fireside chat. And I was really happy that I asked at the beginning if everyone will put their cell phone away. And all of the students graciously did. And I shared with them that I was going to put something in their toolkit that was powerful, that would serve them from that day on all the way through their life. And that was attentive listening. I also broke down 3 words because they were planning a leadership conference at the end of the year, and they were bringing in students from grade 5, 6, 7, and 8 from feeder schools who will be attending high school at Montcalm. And it was just pure joy for me to see grade 5, 6, 7, and 8 eager to participate, to answer questions, to tell me stories, to answer my questions. Some of them were on student council, and they were already telling me that they were young leaders and what they were doing. And then we even looked back on their young life from birth to where they were, and the acknowledgement of how they are a leader in the moment. And we talked about what it means to lead, and that it's not, if we think about it visually, it's not being at the front of the line and leading the group at phys ed class or at a track meet. It was about paving the way and setting an example and showing others the path forward, that inspiration. And I love their energy. They were all just too cute. And then we talked, okay, now that you know a leader, let's talk about what it means. You know what it means to lead. So let's add ER, let's add that suffix. What does it mean now that you know what lead means, whether it's a noun or a verb? What does it mean to be a leader? And that's a pronoun, and just all the fun things. I felt like I was a teacher on this stage inside the auditorium, which I hadn't been in 40 years, which was surreal in itself. So what is the leader? And we talked about dropping all of the extrinsic values. It's not your title. It's not your degree initials after your name. It's not your authority. It's about inspiring and empowering and serving those around you. And these young kids, these young leaders, they listened. We talked about empathy. We talked about integrity and humility and what that means. And that to remember that you don't have to be the loudest voice in the room to get people to listen. We talked about introverts and extroverts and ambiverts. And it was so magical. And then lastly, we explored leadership. So we went from lead to leader to leadership. And I told them about destination disease and how you can have this beautiful skill of looking out and having a vision and a great idea, and then coming back and getting a plan, the structure, and having the mindset, the behavior, and that leadership is a journey. And that was just a fun conversation with all these beautiful young children from various schools. We talked about how you continually grow and evolve, and how we learn from failures, and that failures become learning opportunities, and how we adapt to challenges. You fall down, you get back up. It was a metaphor, but they got it. We talked about fostering teamwork, and we talked about sports teams, and we talked about Cub Scouts and Brownies and all the different clubs and making everyone feel included. We talked about everyone in the audience having the potential to be a leader, whether it's leading a team, whether it's being a Cub Scout, whether it's helping your mom unload the dishwasher or helping your dad outside in the yard. All you have to do is have the mindset and the behavior to have a positive influence. And the excitement that I got from these children just further showed me that the work that I'm doing in the heart-centered leadership space is foundationally compassion intertwined with passion for me. And these are our future leaders, and navigating them forward was just a dream come true. Like I said, a full circle moment going back to my high school after 40 years. So I'm going to leave that with you today. I'm actually doing this podcast today. It's June 11th. And you're not going to hear it till Friday, which will be June 14th, because I'm signing off for the week because my second granddaughter is going to be born tomorrow. So I wanted to get all of my work and everything wrapped up before I become a grandmother again, which I'm really excited about. We are having a phenomenal leadership symposium in October. And it's not going to be a leadership conference. It's going to be a symposium because we are offering you an experience. We're looking for the elite leaders. Is that you? Is that someone on your team? Is it someone in your organization that you feel should attend? So we will put the website below. It's www.leadingwithtrust.ca. And we're welcome to answer any of your queries or questions. We have a phenomenal sponsorship package. You can inquire again from the information below. And I just want to let you know that my book is continuing to make a difference. It's a playbook. It's going to have a long track record, if you will, because people are reading it and then grabbing it back off the shelf. We've remained in the top 10 on Amazon in the healthcare administration. And we've officially won 2 more awards, which brings it to 5. And seeing my book in Times Square a week ago on the NASDAQ sign, I can't even tell you how I was feeling. Surreal moment, but it's just the fire in my belly, the love in my heart that helps me continue to have a global voice, to be a global leadership coach. And super excited to bring you season 5, mind-blowing that I'm even saying that, of Imperfect, the Heart-Centered Leadership Podcast. So thanks for listening. We value all of you that share your richest commodity of time with us. And we look forward to a new season. And we're going to be dropping a few little goodies this month in June. And then the regular show will be back the first Friday in July. So take care, be kind, lead with your heart, and we will see you back here in July for season 5. Thanks so much for joining me today on Imperfect, the Heart-Centered Leadership Podcast. I hope you've enjoyed the show today and have learned some new tools for your leadership toolkit from our amazing heart-centered guest. If you like the show, feel free to give us a rating and a review, and we always welcome your feedback anytime. If you're ready to master the art of heart, my new book, The Heart-Centered Leadership Playbook, is now available on Amazon, or you can click the link below in our description.